حياكم الله. موطني النشيد ان شاء الله نغير بيجوز نغير شويه المحتوى مالته نحط به في شيء بالكهرباء. I'm just saying we might put something about electricity within the national anthem and the power cuts that the generators create. تسمعوني زين؟ تمام؟ نرحب بالاستاذ عبد الحميد القصير who is the National Training Program Director for Respiratory Medicine for Iraq, who's going to be welcoming our special guests and also the delegates.
Problem, and we add to our symposium COPD and asthma as chronic obstructive airway disease. So great thank and great respect to our special guest, Dr. Yahab, Dr. Stephen, who كان بدنا إنه دكتور كان ويانا بالحقيقة. So we have an interesting subject in the pleural disease, and we have excellent and special an eminent speaker. And the second day we will have, inshallah, a workshop about ultrasound diagnosis. My great respect and thanks to Dr. Mudher, who will بالحقيقة he's the great task and preparing this program. ودائما احنا we need such program because you are using to have a short discussion on so for many respiratory diseases in our conference. So it will be in the future. We have many symposium and related to special part of the respiratory system to covering the subject, which is very common in our society. We have many cases in hospital to deal with the pleural diseases, and we need a lot of information and a best way for understanding the subject. شكرا جزيلا للحضور وعلى رأسهم our guest and Dr. Mudher. شاكرين على هذا الإنجاز الرائع. وإن شاء الله, despite of a hot atmosphere, we have a very warm emotion for our guest, and إن شاء الله يكون program حافل. شكرا جزيلا.
Okay, without further ado, we'll crack on. I have some housekeeping notes. البوينتر ما يشتغل شباب. بوينتر ما يشتغل. اي وبعد ما يتعطل. تمام؟ اي. Okay. Just a few housekeeping notes inshallah للمؤتمر for the sake of benefiting from this conference most. Okay, inshallah. A big massive thank you to the sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't have been able to host such an event. And therefore, I ask and I request that during coffee breaks, it's just not mere coffee, tea, but make the effort to go to each booth stand to find out a little bit about what they sell, what their products are, etc. It's good learning anyway for our trainees, but also it's our way of returning that kind gesture of arranging something as nice as this. A big thank you to the coordinators, the Global Premier Training Institution, for their what seems to be a thankless task, but I'm sure will be an extremely thankful task that goes beyond pleasure but gratification when they see success before them, inshallah, at the end of the two-day conference. Big thanks to our delegates, شبابنا وطلابنا بالذات اللي حضروا من كل العراق. It's really special for us والأساتذة الموجودين أستاذ عبد الحميد أنا وياه من ساعة نسولف. هو بالحقيقة we are يعني a lot of these activities we've been there, done that, got the t-shirt على قولة الإنجليز. This is for your learning. I really appreciate not only you guys kindly attending the conference, but all your supervisors who made this possible and allowed you to come. A big thanks to the Iraqi respiratory family, under the umbrella of the Iraqi Cardiac Thoracic Society, for hosting us and for supporting us in this endeavor. And of course, to our National Training Program Director, Ustad Abdul Hamid, اللي هو قلبه كبير وأخونا الكبير, who has embraced بالحقيقة a revolution in training in respiratory medicine, not just in the classical system that was in the past, but the run-through system that we estimate might provide up to 150 to 200 subspecialty in Iraq in the next, probably after 10 years or so. It was a planted seed, inshallah, راح يشوفه هو, I am sure, in his lifetime, inshallah, Allah يطول بعمره. And of course, it's something that we, I'm happy to call ourselves the respiratory family. Inshallah, there are now 6 centers across Iraq and probably expanding even more, inshallah. A big thanks to our UK Plural Society, represented by my colleagues and friends who have had the guts not only to come to Iraq, but in June of the heat in Iraq, Ihab Bedawi and Stephen Walker, who make me feel old. And Najib Rahman, unfortunately, could not make it in person, but he will be joining us live and he will be joining us by recording because his colleague passed away from a road traffic accident 3 weeks ago, sadly. So he had to stay behind. So big thank you to all the local speakers, all the international speakers as well. Housekeeping notes, no expected fire alarms. الحر هذا هو حر العراق. طبعا you will find that within this Coral Palace venue, there will be different halls between different areas, so you will have to go outdoor from one place to another. فالشمس تقلي بالعراق تقلي مثل ما تشوفون. And also, I was thinking of my friend Stephen Walker and whether he has vitamin D deficiency. And I thought if I bring him to Iraq in June, he'll get plenty of vitamin D walking between all these different places. Smoking, absolutely discourteous and not allowed in any of the venues, please. And I've included vape and I've included marijuana in this, not that anyone's into this kind of thing. Mobile phones, I'm not going to say necessarily switch it off because that's not realistic, but please, please, please keep it on silence. If you keep your mobile phones on silent, everybody will benefit because then it won't cause disruption to everyone when they're listening, etc. Again, a big thanks to the sponsors. Don't forget to visit the booths during coffee breaks. I will use a bell that I have. So you'll hear this bell when the break is over. I just need one bell, please. I don't want people to be hanging around in the booth and having their coffees and teas when people have made so much effort to put these lectures together, and then it will mean everybody will run behind. The halls, this is Hamrabi Hall. It will be the main hall for the first day. There is Royale, where we are holding the booth. There'll be signposted to get there, where you get your vitamin D on the way. And إن شاء الله إحنا طلبنا من عندهم البارحة إنه يخلون التبريد يصير على الممر اللي يمر عليه. So this is going to be air cooling on the whole corridor to get to there. And then tomorrow, inshallah, lunch will be in Coral Palace itself. Again, will be signposted. And tomorrow, inshallah, in the Royale or just below Royale will be the workshop for the ultrasound when we go for the breakout session. So people will be here. And the workshop for the ultrasound will be specifically prioritized based on the registered candidate. The priority will be given to trainees, Board of Respiratory Medicine, Board of Internal Medicine, and other trainees in respiratory medicine, because that's what it's designed for. We've got 3 patients, inshallah. We're going to have ultrasound probes, and we're going to have 4 sonographers to show you how it's done. That's tomorrow, inshallah. Timekeeping, don't get upset with my timekeeping. People who've seen me moderate such sessions in the past know that if we want to finish on time and on good time, I'll give warnings, and the timekeeping for people that take a break and come back is crucial as well. The question and answer session, I was hoping for stands, but I think there's enough microphones to go around. So if you raise your hand, they'll come provide you with a microphone during the question and answer session. And at the end, the program is live, it's in the booklets, it's on the website. And then inshallah, at the end of the second day, there's an online feedback form that is helpful for us, helpful for GPTI as coordinators, for the sponsors, for us, the Jam'iyyah, to see whether the venue is fit for purpose, what we can do about the program. Do we increase the lectures? Do we reduce the lectures? Do we invite Ehab and Stephen again? And that sort of thing. We need that on the feedback form. And then, inshallah, we were chatting about this yesterday, myself, Stephen, and Ehab, that there will be real research opportunities and collaboration between a specialist in the UK, a specialist in Iraq, and there are so many topics that could be a master's degree, could be a PhD degrees. We've got initial approval من وزارة التعليم العالي, Ministry of Higher Education, to support such grants for people to complete them. Probably 70 to 80% of them will happen in Iraq. So what we're going to do is going to create a database and a data bank for our trainees, inshallah, in the future, where people who've got a question, unanswered question, scientific unanswered question, can put their names forward in the database, etc. And then as we start thinking of things that no one's ever thought about before in terms of research, myself included in this, then we might put a program together, inshallah. Both Ehab and Stephen are predominantly academic anyway. So they do academic and clinical work. Enjoy the rest of it, inshallah. And the first session will kick off shortly.